Hi everybody, my name is Anastasia and today I'll be doing a hair care video because I have no extensions, never had, never will, and I always get questions about my hair, how I care about it, and I've done a few videos before so you can check those out, but today hopefully I'll tell you something new. When it comes to brushing, I only use Tangle Teasers. They're everywhere, they have different colors. This is the best brush for detangling your hair. And whenever you're brushing, always start from the ends. This is like advice everybody tells you about. While you're brushing, hold your hair on top very tight. That way you're not pulling on any hairs directly from the roots. So hold it very tight in your fist and then brush the ends. Once it's completely brushed and perfect, you literally position your hand a bit higher and then you brush it again. Another thing I've said before in my previous videos, and I still do, is brushing your hair upside down. So what I do, I just completely put it upside down and then you brush from the back of your neck all the way to the forehead. But only do it once you've brushed your hair very thoroughly from the ends, because that way you won't pull out any hair. And the benefit of brushing your hair upside down like that, especially if you're bending down way more, is that your blood rushes to your roots and they strengthen and it just gets extra nourishment. Some people also say that you should just put your hair upside down every now and then, but just that makes my face red and I get dizzy. So I'm not sure about that particular tip. If you're thinking that my hair is looking frizzy today, because it is. Because mostly I do air dry my hair, occasionally I blow dry it, but I don't really do it on a regular basis because everybody knows heat is horrible for your hair. Mostly I do air dry it and mostly it does not look perfect. And also I do some highlights, which means it's more prone to breakages, and all my priority is to do no harm. Talking about do no harm, I think most people wash their hair pretty wrong. I will tell you what I mean. When you shampoo your hair, you usually just put shampoo straight on your head and you go through these crazy motions of almost like, I don't know, are you tossing a salad or what are you doing? What helps me to get rid of any kind of knots is to foam my shampoo in my hand and then gently stroke my hair with these motions. So I just shampoo it like this, and I never ever shampoo anything but my skull. What I mean is that when you just go through the strokes like that, and when you pour the water and you rinse it out, the shampoo's residue will naturally wash the rest of your hair, especially the ends. They don't really need this type of action because you'll just get split ends. And I do shampoo my hair twice every single time I wash it. Previously, I used to say that you should not wash your hair more than twice a week, but I just think that doesn't work for me personally. And I think it's not a bad thing to wash your hair every other day if you're washing it correctly, as I've mentioned. Anybody who's prone to having, greasy roots, it's a bit gross. I think there's nothing more unattractive than having really greasy hair, and especially when you're blonder, it is more visible. Probably if you have dark hair or black hair, you won't see it as much and you can go ahead with like a slick look, but for me it doesn't work. So I like to wash my hair probably every other day and it doesn't harm it. I found no difference whatsoever because the way I shampoo my hair, it does not mess it up. Some people also ask about my hair's volume, but I think the reason it's usually voluminous is because it's mostly clean. The problem with air drying is that sometimes I do end up looking like a lion, but that's just life, and to be honest, I don't mind having this kind of puffy, messy look. I think it's just okay, And your hair shape depends on the haircut as well. So I like to have some sort of layers in my hair. As you can see, the front bits are here and then it goes all the way like that. And you need to remember that the longer your hair gets, the thinner it would look, because if you just chop your hair, like that, where my layers end, for example, it will look much thicker than when it's longer. I used to have my hair even longer, probably here. I just found it's not very practical for day-to-day basis. Other tips I can tell you is, of course, nutrition and hydration. Hydration is key. I drink probably 3 liters of water every single day, and I noticed a big difference in my skin, in my hair, in my overall energy. Another supplement I can recommend that noticed a big difference for me personally is collagen. So you can either take it as a powder. They have a few versions made from beef and fish, and I think there's also some kind of vegetarian option. Or you can take pills as well. Collagen is key, especially if you're over 25. Your skin will thank you. Other tips is to use some sort of product with keratin. I'm not particularly fond of fancy shampoos or fancy conditioners, but I do love to do hair masks on a regular basis, probably once a week. What I usually do, I put hair mask on my dry hair from probably like a middle part until the ends, and then I put it into a little bun, and then when I go to wash my hair, the mask rinses, which means all the split ends close up, and then I can shampoo and condition afterwards as well. Another thing about do no harm, I never put my hair back in a very tight ponytail. That way you're really pulling on your roots and your hair will come out. I use only this type of hairband. They don't cause any breakages in the middle of the hair, because sometimes what I noticed in the past is that if you look at your hair from the back, you can see split ends and breakages right around your neck. It's because if you're using a very strong hairband, that elastic breaks your hair, and that's why it doesn't grow past a certain point. Another thing about me, I go to the gym a lot, probably 4 times a week at least, and whenever you are exercising, you're putting your hair usually up. There are different hairstyles that I do for the gym, but mostly I just put my hair softly like that, almost like a ponytail, and then I just make it a little, I don't know what you call it, I just twist it around basically. And then I use this hairband like that. So it's not pulling it too hard, but it still doesn't get in my face and annoys me during workouts. One more habit you can establish for your hair is to sleep in a braid. Pretty much every night that I sleep, I braid my hair because it just avoids knots. And when you brush your hair too much, I find that of course it will come out. Especially if your hair is prone to being messy and knotty like mine, your job will just to do things that don't knot it. So sleep in a braid, wash your hair without this kind of crazy movements, condition it every single time you wash it. Don't sleep with wet hair. I sometimes still do it, but usually I wash my hair probably like 3 hours before I go to bed, and by the time I go to bed it is pretty damp, but it's okay. You can braid it and then you can wake up sometimes with some sort of waves, which is okay. And if you do have to blow dry it, use some sort of keratin treatment, almost like a leave-in cream. I got one recently here, and I've never used this brand before, but it's pretty good. Otherwise I use any taming oils for the split ends, and they work pretty well as well. Another tip I can tell you about nutrition is that as women we're always trying to lose fat and diet, but if you're eating very low calories, especially fats, your hair will come out. And why? Is because your body is struggling for energy, and hair unfortunately is not a vital organ, is not a vital thing to have. Your body prioritizes things like heart and lungs and other internal organs, and it does take energy and resources from your body to grow your hair. This is why if you're malnourished or you're constantly dieting, you will notice hair loss, especially during those phases. And final tip, if it's really sunny out, do use some sort of heat protection on your hair anyway, and wear a hat, because I find that if you're burning the skin on your skull, and we have summer coming up very soon, you'll notice your skin gets red. Yeah, your hair comes out again. I hope these little tips were helpful today. I've done a couple of videos in the past, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, so I'll link them below. And if you have any other questions or any other requests, just let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye!